Hello everyone. Today we are going to dive deep to the fascinating world of the science of learning. This field combines insights from psychology, neuroscience, education, and cognitive science to uncover how we learn and how can we learn better. Whether you are a teacher, a parent, a student, a professional, or just curious, understanding these concepts can empower you to optimize learning in yourself and others. Let's first see what's learning. Let's go back to the basics. Learning is the process of acquiring new knowledge, skills, attitudes, or behaviors. It's not just about cramming information. It's about understanding, applying, and retaining. For example, learning to solve a math problem involves understanding the concepts, practicing them, and remembering them for future use. But how does this happen? Scientists break it down into 3 stages. The first stage is encoding, taking in the information. The next stage is consolidation, strengthening it in your brain. And the third stage is retrieval. Accessing that information when you need it. Now let's see how the brain learns. At the heart of learning is the brain. Here's how it works. The brain is made up of billions of neurons, which are like tiny messengers. When you learn something new, neurons connect and form pathways. These pathways are like trails in the forest. The more you use them, the stronger they become. This is called neuroplasticity. It means your brain is constantly changing and adapting based on your experiences. For example, if you practice playing the piano every day, your brain builds stronger pathways related to music and motor coordination. Let's talk about memory and learning. Memory is a key player in learning. There are 3 types of memory that work together. The first type is sensory memory. This is your brain's quick reaction to what you see or hear. It only lasts a few seconds. The next is short-term or working memory. This is like a temporary notepad in your brain. It holds information for a short time while you use it, like when solving a math problem. The next type of memory is long-term memory. This is where information is stored for long haul, like remembering your friend's birthday or how to ride a bike. Now let's understand the strategies to learn effectively. I'm going to give you some evidence-based strategies for this. The first one is spaced practice. Instead of cramming, space out your learning over time. For example, if you have a test in a week, study a little bit every day. This strengthens your memory by allowing your brain to consolidate information. Next strategy is interleaved practice. Mix up what you have learned. If you're practicing math, don't just solve one type of problem repeatedly. Switch between different types. This helps your brain make connections and improves problem-solving skills. The next strategy is active recall. Instead of just reading notes, try to recall the information from memory. For example, quiz yourself or explain the topic to someone else. This strengthens retrieval pathways in your brain. The next strategy is elaborative interrogation. Ask yourself why something is true. For instance, when learning history, don't just memorize dates. Think about why events happened and how they are connected. Next strategy is dual coding. Combine words and visuals. For example, use diagrams, charts, or mind maps along with written notes. This taps into different areas of your brain and makes learning more effective. Let me talk about the role of emotions in learning. Did you know that your emotions affect how well you learn? When you're stressed or anxious, it's harder to focus and retain information. That's because stress triggers the release of cortisol, which can interfere with memory formation. On the other hand, positive emotions like curiosity and excitement enhance learning. This is why teachers often use stories, games, or hands-on activities to make lessons more engaging. Let's talk about the importance of sleep and exercise. Two often overlooked factors in learning are sleep and exercise. When you sleep, your brain organizes and consolidates the information you have learned during the day. This is why pulling an all-nighter before an exam is a bad idea. It prevents your brain from doing its job. Also, physical activity increases blood flow in the brain and promotes the release of chemicals like endorphins and BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which support learning and memory. Next, I want to talk about motivation and goal setting. Motivation is the fuel for learning. There are two types. First one is intrinsic motivation, learning because you are genuinely curious or passionate about a topic. Next one is extrinsic motivation, learning because of external rewards like grades or praise. To stay motivated, set specific, achievable goals. For example, instead of saying, I want to learn math, say, I want to master solving quadratic equation in 2 weeks. This gives you a clear target to work towards. Now let's talk about technology and learning. In today's digital world, technology plays a big role in learning. Tools like educational apps, virtual reality, and online courses make learning more interactive and accessible. But there's a catch. Too much screen time can be distracting. To use technology effectively, focus on high-quality, well-designed learning tools. Also, take breaks to avoid digital fatigue. Next, I want to talk about the role of feedback. Feedback is essential for learning. It tells you what you're doing well and what needs improvement. But feedback works best when it's specific. Instead of saying good job, say your argument was strong because you used clear examples. Feedback should be timely. Give feedback soon after the task. Feedback should be constructive. Highlight areas for improvement in a positive way. Now let's talk about the growth mindset. Finally, a concept popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can improve with effort and practice. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, when you believe your abilities are set in stone. For example, if you struggle with math, a fixed mindset might say, I am bad at math. A growth mindset, on the other hand, says, I can get better with practice. This mindset is powerful because it encourages resilience and persistence, which are crucial for learning. To wrap it up, the science of learning offers us a wealth of insights into how we learn and how can we learn better. By understanding how our brain works, using effective strategies, managing emotions, and adopting a growth mindset, we can unlock our full potential. Remember, learning is a journey, not a destination. So keep exploring, keep practicing, and more importantly, keep growing.